Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
Hello and welcome back to another incredible episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. I am your host, Jason Hardin, and I am extremely grateful to be here because I woke up and I'm here, so that's all it takes for me to be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Today, we have an excellent program today, and that's because I got someone very special on the show as a guest. This brother is the producer of the Mo Kelly Show on KFI. He's also the co-host and producer of Nerd-O-Rama on iHeartRadio. The brother's been working in the business since 1995 with 92.3 The Beat, back when 92.3 The Beat was the business. You know what I'm saying? And he's been doing his thing and living his dream ever since, and that's why he's on the show, because he's an absolute boss. And the brother's name is Tawala Sharp. Mr. Sharp, how you doing?
Brother Hardin, look, man, let me tell you something. It is an honor to be on here. It is an honor to be speaking with you. I know we had you on the Mo Kelly Show sometime back when you were looking to lead Pasadena into better days as mayor, and I always appreciated your energy and just what you were looking to bring to the people. And when I saw what Life of a Boss was doing and you asked me to come on, I could not say no, sir.
Well, I'm honored and extremely pleased to have you on my show because, like I said, you're a very seasoned vet when it comes to this podcasting, this broadcasting, and all this. Because, like I said, you saw the introduction of it. You know, you was there since the beginning. You was there since you was podcasting since before podcasting. You know, like when there was only radio, when podcasting was just talk radio. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's definitely an honor to have you here. It's definitely a thrill, and I am actually, like I said, I'm excited to get whatever game that you got to give, and that we're gonna dig up out of you today.
Hey man, look, I'm here to share. I'm here to be of service and to help those who are tuning in to become better bosses in their lives.
Well, I appreciate that because that's what we're all about, man. We're all about personal development because that's what being a boss is about. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I got you on the show, because I know that you have mastered personal development to some degree to get where you are today. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to dissect and really want to kind of share with our audience is that mentality, that mindset, whatever that was. And what was that? Like, when did you decide that you wanted to get in radio, that was your calling, that you wanted to get into broadcasting, and when did you go for it?
You know, in around 1988, me and my brother McTate Stroman, also from Pasadena, you know, we were heavy into rap. We were heavy into spitting rhymes. And sometime around 1990, myself, my brother Wendell Blackburn, and my brother Tariq, we started a group called Bass Almighty, and we dropped a single called Ain't No Party. You know, ain't no party on a West Coast party, because a West Coast party don't stop. And it got love on the beat. It got love on the beat, and we was hyped. We was like, oh man, we about to put Pasadena on the map. Thought we were out of here. And then as those 5 minutes of fame often happen, 5 minutes came up and the group went nowhere. You know, the label, you know, fell apart, and next thing you know, I'm back out there walking around, and folks is like, man, didn't I see your single in Sam's record? Like, what you doing working at the frozen yogurt place now? You know, so I there was something about visiting 92.3 The Beat, the station that had first played my music, and being in there and seeing, wow, people actually work at a radio station. Like, you know, back then, I had no idea how radio worked. I just knew that we lived we turned into K-Day back in the day, and then we started tuning into Power 106, 2.3 when they started playing hip hop.
Yeah.
But the beat showed me love, and they showed mad love. They had us on the radio all the time for every other reason, and I was just enthralled by it.
Wow.
So when the rap career didn't work, I reached out to the program director, or actually she was the assistant music director at the time, Mariama Snyder, and I was like, Mariama, like I know you showed love for our music, like, how do I get a job there? And she said, well, you know, there are no real jobs around here available, but we always are bringing on interns. I had no idea what that was. I was like, what is the intro? What do I got to do? She said, well, you know, if you're able to enroll in a broadcast course, you can get an internship through the broadcast course with the beat.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, so what I got to do? Go to a radio school? She said, well, you can look at your local college. I looked up Pasadena City College. They have a telecommunications program, and I enrolled immediately. And let me tell you, I was not an A student by any means. In high school, I was probably at best a D student. Truthfully, school was not my thing coming up in Pasadena. But when I got to Pasadena City College and I got in telecommunications, the very first time I saw an A on a report card. The very first time I was awarded for being like a stellar student. I didn't know what I fell in love at that point, and all I wanted was more of that. And when I finally took the requisite courses at Pasadena City College, I went back to the beat and I was like, hey, I got my paperwork. I'm ready to intern. And they put me on as Julio G's second intern. Julio G had just gotten on the radio.
Yeah.
Easy-E, rest in peace, had just passed. Julio G was new to the air, and they had me in there with Julio G, answering phones. Julio would be like, hey, Tawala, man, we kind of hungry. Can you run down to the Italian place and pick us up some pizza or pick us up some spaghetti? I was doing everything. And that is how I learned how you get into this industry. I would get in there as early as possible and stay as late as possible, soaking up the knowledge, soaking up the information, asking everyone in there, hey, what do you do? Oh, I work in sales. What is sales? Well, what sales is X, Y, and Z. Hey, what do you do? I do engineering. What is engineering? I was a sponge. I soaked up every single thing. As an intern, I became indispensable. They knew, hey, when something needed to be done, reach out to Tawala. He'll do it, and he'll do it to the best of his ability. One time, brother, they asked me to organize the music library, and I went in there, and there's stuff all over the place. It's in buckets and crates. Every CD, every piece of vinyl at that station, everywhere. I had just finished with Julio, and I said, okay, cool, no problem. They came back the next morning, and I was still in there alphabetizing every CD, and they were like, have you been here all night? I'm like, yeah, you guys said you needed it done. And so I'm here getting it done, because if you asked me to do something, if you asked me what I was doing with it the very next time, I had to say it's done. I couldn't say I was still working on it.
Yeah.
I felt this hunger. So when a position opened up, and as a music coordinator, or whatever it was when I first started, they were like, Tawala's got to get that position. And after that, I've never looked back. I was with 92.3 The Beat on through when they became 100.3 The Beat, on when they became B100 until the end. I was there with John Lennon at House Party all the way to John Sally.
Wow.
You know, I was there at the beginning of Steve Harvey before he became national.
Yeah.
He was just blowing up in LA. I was there. I was one of the individuals that helped to bring Lala to LA from Atlanta before she became this international star.
Yeah.
You know, my career, I've had the pleasure of producing and co-producing some of the biggest concerts in LA. Summer Jam, Holiday Cool Down, Secret Show, you know, all these different shows. And in my career, I've had the opportunity to be there from artists who you know now.
Yeah.
But I remember them when they were nobody, when they were coming in the station begging for airplay, and now you know them. You know them across the world. And I remember that because of a decision I made to help someone out. But I was also able to help out my people from Pasadena.
Yeah, yeah.
Any one of the homies who had a demo, anyone who's trying to come on, because I remember how I was hungry trying to get on the radio, trying to get my record played. And I told God, I made a promise with the Most High. I said, God, if you get me in here, I will never turn a blind eye to being there for someone else who needs help. And that's my calling. Throughout my career, anyone who's reached out, if I am able to be of service, then I will serve, because that's what I told God I would do. I'm paying back my promise to the Lord with everything that I do.
Hey, it's Christina Nicholson here from the Become a Media Maven podcast. I'm a former TV reporter and anchor, and if you're a business owner, you're going to want to check out Become a Media Maven, because I am not holding back when it comes to sharing my experience in the newsroom, what works, and what'll get you in the national spotlight. You don't need to hire a PR agency like mine. Just listen to the podcast where I share all of my secrets, and I talk to some pretty cool people too.
Well, I can absolutely say that I vouch for that, because since I got you on my show and since we're live, I do want to take this opportunity to thank you, because for those that don't know, Tawala got me on radio on the Mo Kelly show the first time I ran for mayor. and it was an incredible experience. So, and I didn't know Tawala that well then, so for him to say or look at this young brother trying to do something and then say, you know what, let me plug you in with Mo and get you on the show, and it was an incredible experience. And that was my first ever interview for that campaign, being on the radio. That was my first ever real interview like that, and it came from Tawala Sharp, and I do want to thank him right now, as well as Mr. Mo Kelly, but really Tawala for making that moment happen. So I appreciate you, brother, and I can vouch for your love that you have for where you come from, straight up. And
you are more than welcome, brother.
And just to like shed some light on your journey and your opening statement, it was incredible, because there was so many gems in that. I mean, from intern to gatekeeper, because that's what I got out of what you just said.
Right.
From intern to gatekeeper, but even from before the intern, and that's really what I want to touch on first, is that you said something that I speak on a lot, and that's when you was all in on being an artist, right? You was all in to the point where you were doing whatever you can to get your demo heard, to record, and to get on the radio, right? Well, and you finally made it on the radio, right? But because of all that, and even after all that, the music career didn't quite work out. But you were all in enough and long enough to expose yourself to the other careers that were involved in that industry that sparked your fire. And I say that was so important, because I try to tell folks that, like, maybe they're interested in basketball, maybe they're interested in video games, like whatever you are interested in, if you dive into it enough, if you show enough interest and passion for it, you get to see that it's an industry. Meaning there's an industry worth of jobs and careers and things to do that just being in front of the camera or in front of the microphone just scratches the surface of. And go ahead.
When I first got in there, of course, getting into radio, I wanted to be an air personality. I wanted to be a DJ super, super bad. Mm-hmm. I did get that opportunity. I was on in the morning, afternoon, night, whatever. I was filling in. I had my own weekend show. At one point, I did full-time overnight.
Wow.
And then I started realizing that the real power is the person that is telling their personality what to say. The person in charge of every single record that comes out. Brother, at one point, as the music director, I had one of the most powerful seats in the entire music industry, because the West Coast was that important for music sales. And black music, if it wasn't playing on my station, the beat, it didn't mean a thing.
Yeah.
I was the person who said yay or nay to music going on the air.
That's
when
incredible.
I saw that, I said, wow. That's something that you would not know about if all you're caught up in is being on the mic, being in front of the camera. It's the director who gives that power.
Exactly, and I'm sure that wasn't even your vision at first. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think it seems like from listening to you talk, it seemed like it was just raw passion for what you were doing that got you to that seat, not necessarily looking for that seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's why
and being open to the idea.
Exactly, and I think that's why we have to appreciate the journey, and that's why I was trying to tell folks, it's the journey that matters more than the destination. You know, and that's also why I say success is a lifestyle. Success isn't that seat. You know, success wasn't that seat because you wasn't even looking for that seat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might look at you like, man, he's successful because he's sitting in that seat. But you, nigga, success was what you was doing every day to get there. It's what you was doing the next day. It's what you was doing when you left that seat. Before you got to that seat, you know, so success is indeed a lifestyle, bro, and you are the epitome of it because, like I said, to see you come from that, or to hear you come from that, and to see where you are now, it's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful because, like I said, you are from my community, and so that makes it even more special. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's interesting is in my journey, in my time at the beat, I made myself indispensable.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I've made myself indispensable, when I did what I did, I was the only person that can do it.
Yeah.
My time with the beat transferred hands as far as company owners several times from Chancellor to Evergreen to AM FM to Clear Channel. All these different radio owner groups came in, and every time they came in, they would eliminate my position. So I would always lose my job because they didn't really understand the position.
Yeah.
And then they would look around and they would say, okay, so, all right, we've cleaned house. Okay, so who does this, that, and the other? And
your name kept coming up.
Wow. It was every single time. It would be like, wait a minute. One guy did all of this by himself? It'd be like, yeah. And it'd be like, so instead of us having to hire 5 different people, we could do that with one person?
Man.
Like, yeah. I've always, the longest I was ever out of a job there, I think was like maybe 2 months. I don't even think it was 2 months. And in that 2 months, the general manager of the station called me and said, Tawala, please do not take another job. We are going to get you back in here.
I was about to say that. Every time you must have came back, there must have been more money.
Oh, yeah, no, more money. And then, and also that added respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like with that apology of like, wow, we are sorry, we had no idea. And it's like, it's all good because I don't advertise it. I just do the work.
I just do the work.
I got a garage full of gold and platinum plaques, full of plaques that are not up on my wall because that's not what it was about. For me, it was about the work. It was about reaching out. It was about making that station sound good, about being real about the music, about listening, and about being a steward of my craft and always maintaining relationships.
You know what?
One of the key things you can do in this industry, brother, maintain your relationship. Where I'm at right now with Mo Kelly and the Mo Kelly Show, that came from a relationship because at the time when at the beat, that is where I met Mo.
Absolutely.
With him, putting G-Unit on a concert. Because we built such a solid relationship. And so when he reached back out to me when he got his time and said, hey, Tawala, I know you've been in this industry forever. Come and help me out on this station.
Man.
I was like, nah, homie, nah.
That must have been an honor just to have him ask you directly.
Oh, yeah, no. It was a wonderful thing because it was a relationship. It was like, man, I know this brother. This brother knows me. I'm not really working right now. I had just had a double transplant, so I was just chilling.
Yeah.
It's like, so for him to reach out, that's a relationship. One of the most powerful black women, and I don't even say black women, one of the most powerful women in the music industry right now is a sister named Ethiopia. I remember Ethiopia when she was just walking dogs for Lala.
Oh, wow.
And that's real true story. Like Ethiopia was just like hungry. Right now, she is one of the most powerful women in the entirety of the music industry.
Wow.
And if I reach out to her and I say, hey, Ethiopia, what's going on? She will hit me back and say, hey, T, it's all good. What's up? Because you maintain relationships. You are super cool with the person walking the dogs as you are with the CEO. When you walk into an office, you say hi to the receptionist. You treat her like she's the most, or he is the most important person on planet Earth. So many interns I know are running the top labels in the world, running radio stations. We had one intern that used to work with us, went on to be like the right hand of the top of iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
These are the type of things you've got to know as you're coming up and as you are becoming a boss. Maintain relationships. Always put your best foot forward and know how to pivot on a dime, because industries change like that.
Absolutely. There was one thing you said I wanted to touch on before I forget it, and it was the fact of you saying you made yourself indispensable. And I always say, don't just make a presence, make your presence felt. Don't just be there, make your presence felt. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a certain type of attitude. Because not everybody is born with that. Some people have to develop it. That they're doing beyond the call of duty, that living up to your word, that putting in that work. And my thing is since success has so much to do with that attitude, where did you get that attitude, or how did you develop it? Was it something that you always had, or did you learn it of that just selfless, like I'm here to like I said, do my work? Like I would say, like when I have a job, if I'm shoveling shit, I'm gonna be the best shit shoveler that you ever gonna find. Bruh. Why? Because I signed up to shovel shit. I'm not gonna shovel shit with an attitude.
Shit looks so good. Yeah, no, you're gonna be like, man, this shit is in the neatest pile I've ever seen.
You know what I'm saying? Got a decoration design out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Some landscape to it, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the pride I have, and you obviously have that same pride in whatever you're doing. You're gonna do it with care and love and attention and real detail. So, what gave you that? Because it came at a young age. I'm saying. What was it?
Man, look, you're going to look at what I do and you're going to say, damn, like right now on our weekend show, we have been nominated and have won some of the top awards in radio. And for a weekend show, we have had almost every presidential candidate. We have had governors. We have had diplomats. We have had the top actors in the world on our show. And every single time they all say, man, that was quite possibly one of the best interviews I've ever had. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And it's almost a point where people look like, how in the world are you getting these people? Because we don't just do the job. We go above and beyond in every single thing. Like you said, we are making sculptures out of that shit we're shoveling. And that is a fact. You have got to be hungry. If you can never just do your job. Not if you're trying to be successful. Not if you're trying to win. If you start your own company, you can't say, oh, well, my burgers are okay. No.
Exactly.
In this world, you've got to say, my burgers are so good, people are mainlining them. People are taking my burgers and they are cutting them up and they're smoking my burgers. That's how damn good my burgers are.
Like Chick-fil-A.
You make a burger that's and you lose. Man, like Chick-fil-A, exactly.
In and out, yeah.
Have people saying, damn it, I would go to Burger King, but you know what? I'm going to go to Tyrone's Burgers because he's got the best burgers, the best staff, the cleanliest restaurant. He's got a special sauce. You have to go further.
And I
think it as far as I have because I was always hungry for more, never satisfied. And it really comes from my grandmother. Rest in peace. Okay. My grandmother said, baby, find something you love doing and make a career out of it. And it's as simple as that. I love what I do without a shadow of a doubt. And I know I love it because I interned for damn near 9 months. When I first started, that's working for free, y'all.
No money. And doing real work. not doing work like you a volunteer and you can sit down when you want to and take breaks. No, work like you getting paid and your ass need to be doing this. And I said, have it done.
Man, I quit a job so that I could intern.
Wow. But
and I'm working like a 9-to-5 job. I'd be there early in the morning. They wake up, be there, wait till Julio G came on, and still be there after he was gone because I wanted it bad.
Do you have any regrets?
The only regret that I have is that there weren't enough people in the industry willing to show the level of love that I now show people today.
I can vouch for that too,
brother.
brother.
The only thing I regret is that, man, I really do wish there were more of us who were willing to lend a hand. Every single person who's interned for us on the Mo Kelly Show can tell you their graduating project, the thing that they walk away with is, before you're done, you are going to do my job. You're going to produce this show from top to bottom without any assistance from me. Because if you can't take my job, I have not showed you anything.
Man, I've learned that
to do my job.
You don't know something until you can teach it. That's what I've heard. I heard you don't really know something until you can teach it, and that's powerful right there, brother.
Yeah, man.
Do you think you've created a culture, like in your exposure and in your years of experience? Do you think you've helped, at least in some way, create a culture of being like you in a way? Like, did you just help people get successful, or are they successful with a little bit of Tawala in them? You know, because I know you help create some bosses.
I think so. I think
so too.
More than enough people that I have touched, more than enough people that I've worked with, that I've instilled, you know, just that culture of and that knowledge of hard work, of maintaining relationships, of being good to everyone, to being a person of your word, to if you say you're going to do something, the next time I see you, you're telling me it's done. That type of hard work. And I know that because there are people who I'm still in contact with today, some 10 years later, that still right now they're doing big things, and they will reach out to me and they'll say, man, dude, the lessons that you taught, the things that you taught me, you helped to shape me and make me a shark in these waters, and help me to learn how to swim and sleep with my eyes open, and always go after it, always make it happen, always go further. When I hear that back, that is a blessing. When I see people shine, when I see people, there are brothers and sisters who I've directly helped to get on, who are blowing up massively in this radio space right now. And for me, one of the things that I say, one of the things that Mo says all the time is, your success is our success. If you are not successful after working with me, if you are not moving on to bigger and better things, I have failed you. Wow. I have failed you miserably, and I will not fail anymore. That's not my goal in life. You must shine.
Well, that's a powerful attitude.
Shining, why are we in the same circle?
Exactly.
You know, if you're in my circle, you're shining.
Yeah.
If I have a part in that, bruh, I'm there. Everything I do for someone, I don't do ever looking for a thank you.
Yeah.
My thanks is you being successful. You want to thank me, be successful. You want to thank me when you get an opportunity to help someone else, you help them.
Yeah.
You be there for the next person.
I love that. You said sharks in the water, and that brings me to my next question. What were some of the challenges? Because I know it couldn't have been an easy road, especially in that hectic, demanding position of being, you know, that's Hollywood. And people don't know Hollywood is radio, and radio is Hollywood on another level. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the entire music industry. Like I said, it's full of gatekeepers. It's what makes artists what they are, which is why they have so much respect for what you guys do and who you are. So in that environment, in that career, what were some of the challenges, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest challenge, and I think for me, the biggest challenge overall that I ever ran into is people with egos, be it artists or be it, you know, executives. You know, people who think that they're bigger than the seat that they sit in, or they're bigger than the microphone they hold. And it was some of the, you know, when I was in music radio, it was always some of the younger artists, some of the newer hip hop artists or newer, you know, R&B artists who would always come with the biggest attitudes. I need this, I need that, I just blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Every time you got someone old school coming in, you know,
they get it
on a Pack of the Bell or you know, OJ's level, it was like, young brother, we all good, we cool, you know, we don't need all that, we straight. To me, there were people who, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Biggie Smalls, when Big came to LA, rest in peace, I met Big the weekend that he was murdered.
Wow.
The beat was literally a block away from where he was murdered at the Peterson Auto Museum. The beat was right there on Wilshire, right near Fairfax. And he came into the studio, and bruh, I was ready to hate. I was ready to be like, West Coast.
Oh yeah, you got caught up in the East Coast, West Coast beef.
I was hot, because we're the beat.
Yeah. So you was part of the gang banging. Y'all was banging.
Oh, yeah. I was ready to just.
The beat was a set.
I was ready.
Yeah.
When this dude came in, swear to God, he was one of the most humble, one of the nicest artists I have ever met. Ever.
Wow.
It wasn't. He didn't come in with any security. He didn't come in with an entourage, a posse. It was him, Mace, and I'm sorry, him, Little C's, and like one other person.
Mm-hmm.
That was just that. I may have given him a ride there. Cool as a fan.
And the height of the beef, obviously, man, that's crazy.
The literal height of the beef.
That's crazy.
It caught me right there. And because he was so cool, it was disarming. I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was like,
all that rage.
Took it right out of me.
Man.
Right out of me. Embraced me in a big.
That's power, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me up here. I appreciate you guys even taking the time to speak to me and have me up here. He was mad.
Wow.
It taught me a lesson right then about ego, about being bigger than you are, about thinking about yourself, that you're higher than everything about it. Just kind of summed it up for me and made me think like, wow, if this dude, one of the biggest names in all of rap right now, his name is notorious right now. Anywhere he goes, he came in on the humble, on the low, just showing mad love. Not because he needed anything. No, he was already big.
Yeah,
he was already who he was.
Pac was gone, so he was the biggest. He was the biggest artist at the time, literally.
At the time.
What's up, Angry Designers? My name's Massimo, and I'm the host of the Angry Designer Podcast, a no-bull design podcast that cuts through the industry crap to help frustrated designers survive and thrive. Our podcast covers typical things like design, trends, and technology, but we also cover some of the more difficult topics like burnout, ageism, pain-in-the-ass customers, and even the general ridiculousness of our industry. Let us do the venting for you. Click on the link in the show notes to check out our podcast, or visit us on your favorite podcast app at The Angry Designer. Stay angry, our friends.
At the time.
Mm-hmm.
At the time. And it kind of taught me like, wow, man, you know what? Ego is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ego is absolutely nothing. Because when you walk into a building and you know who you are and you spread love, the doors, at that point I was like, whatever you need, ever.
Yeah. It was life-changing, huh?
Because of the love. And I said to myself, man, that's it. And I was fortunate enough to come up in the industry at a time where there were a lot of real people. There were a lot of real people from the neighborhood who were in the industry that I was able to connect with and build with. But the struggle was those egos, those gatekeepers who, no matter what, did not want you to shine. Wanted to hate, wanted to take credit, wanted to try to sabotage. All that stuff about the quote-unquote industry, it's real. It's real. Difficult people, but to me, it all came to ego. And I was never able to have an ego because of the town. Coming from Dina, it's like, yo, man, we all know each other. We're all 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
I know your cousin. You know my brother. We know your. We're too close not to know each other.
Yeah.
So it didn't allow you to have an ego in Dina. You know what I'm saying?
Someone can always call you on it.
We all love Truth. When John B came out, we all showed love for John B because it was Dina.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was never able to have that ego, and I knew that these people, they did not love me. They just loved the fact that I was sitting in the seat that made the decisions for playing their music, yes or no. Because when I was gone and I was calling these folks thinking like, yo, man, it's all love. Hey, man, so they just let me go. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, well, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man, but hey, I got to get back.
Yeah.
And they never got back. I was like, wow, you don't got no love for me. You got love for the chair.
Yeah.
Except for those who did have love and show me, your team, man, don't even worry about this, man. You'll be back better than ever. And every time I came back, I didn't come back with an ego, though. I didn't come back like, man, F y'all for hating. Or
you didn't come with that chip on your shoulder.
With more love. I came back with way more love because that's how I answered that type of madness. I answered that type of craziness with saying, you know what? I got to show more love. This is God testing me saying, man, Tawala, you said you would show love. I'm going to test you. They were hated on you. They stabbed you in the back. Are you going to still show love? Yes, God, I am. Yes, God, I am.
You know what? I want to close it with this final question, man. What advice would you have for someone not necessarily going into the industry you went into and into production and all that, but just whatever industry they choose? Like, what is some of that common advice that you think that has made you successful that you can give away that will make somebody else successful in whatever direction? Because you have a lot of gems, and you gave a lot of them through the show, but is it the attitude? Is it the mindset? Is it the work ethic? Because there were so many, but what is that one that you think you can give away that is almost like the one to have?
I think of all the things that you mentioned, the attitude, the passion, the fire, the work ethic, all those things, I think humility is key. Humility is key. And checking your pride at the door. Knowing that when you're walking into the door of someone else's business, it is their purview to ask of you what they're going to ask you. Is like if you walk into a radio station, if you walk into a bank, if you walk into, a college campus as someone in admin, humility goes a long way. Being a person of your word, keeping your word that's so important. Do not say you're going to do something and don't do it. No, be a person of your word. I say that you have to have a passion for what you're doing. Don't do something because you want to check. You say money will come. Money will come. But if you are passionate about what you're doing, if you love what you're doing, you will never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Money
totally
will always
that.
come. Money will go. That can't be the end all. In other words, people with money don't have to worry about that. It's all relative. You know what I'm saying? It's all relative. If you're a multimillionaire, you've just got multimillionaire problems. If you're a thousandaire, you got thousandaire problems. It's all relative.
Yeah,
it's all relative. It may cost me $30 to pay the gardener to do my yard, where it costs the multimillionaire $3,000 to do his yard.
Man, relative.
You know
wow, that's a perspective.
But the thing that you have to love what you do, and you will never, ever, ever work a day in your life.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm gonna end it there because, like I said, there was just so many gems there, and I love that because it's never just one thing. You know what I'm saying? You named a list of advice because it's not just one thing. You have to be well-rounded. You have to have that vision. You got to be aware. You got to work hard. You got to be humble. You got to be giving. You got to care. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to the details. So it's just I appreciate you, brother, so much because, like I said, this has been an experience because you gave way more game than I could have ever have hoped for out this 30 minutes with you, and I appreciate every moment, brother.
I'm glad, man. It is truly an honor for you to welcome me on your show. I mean, I appreciate that love, man. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to just, share with your listeners, and I really and truly hope that, that someone has gained something from this, man. I applaud you for what you're doing. I applaud you, for starting this platform, for sharing the game, because there aren't a lot of brothers like you, man. You know a lot. Jason, you know a lot. And for you to take this time out of your day, out of your life, to build this platform to help uplift and help reach back over the wall and bring other people up, man, look, that's a testament to your greatness. And I wish you nothing but success, man. I really love what you're doing, brother.
Well, thank you, Bo, because like you said, this is just my way of thanking you for being who you are and of doing the same thing, because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Because we trying to replicate everything we do right. Eliminate everything we do wrong with us and our generation and with ourselves, but everything we do right, I'm trying to give away and hope to replicate. Because like I said, whatever we do, and however we can help somebody get to that next level, and they ain't got to look back. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, their success is our success. They ain't never got to thank us or look back. But man, just getting there and getting them there is a joy to me. You know what I'm saying? That brings me pleasure. Yeah. That brings me some satisfaction. And like you say, money is a byproduct of all that stuff. Money it comes from what we do well, what we do consistently, and what we do right. So, once again, man, thank you so much. It's been incredible speaking with you, and I'm glad to have touched bases back with you in this way on this platform, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
You are more than welcome, sir.
All right, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to close the show. All right, everybody, that was Tawala Sharp, man. He is an amazing individual. Man, get at him on Twitter. His name is @Tawala, Tawala, and Twitter is like the gatekeeper of all information. So, man, if you can tweet him, you can connect with him any other way. So, man, shout out to Mo Kelly and everything that they do and the team down there at KFI, man. Man, it's nothing but love for me because, like I said, they show love. And that's what we got to reciprocate, man. We got to show love to everybody else just to keep it going, man. Love conquers all. All right, man. I love y'all. And remember, success is a lifestyle. Peace.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @HardwayHardin. Thank you. And never forget that success is a lifestyle.